And welcome back to The Wrap. Before we get going here, we want to hear your thoughts on the issues we're talking about tonight. Go to Newsmax.com. I'm sorry, NewsmaxTV.com. NewsmaxTV.com/comments and let us know. All right, it's potluck time. This is a part of the show. We go around the table, share our favorite stories of the day. If you are wearing a Panthers cheerleader outfit, you get to go first.
It's color blocking, Joe. It's color blocking.
I like it.
Okay, my story is a young man, 18 years old, in London, Ontario. So he lived in Canada. Had an iPhone, as many of us do, and it did not get stolen, but he left it in the back seat of a taxi. And when he realized that it was gone, he turned on the trusty Find My iPhone app and traced his phone to a parking lot. Took his sister with him, went to the parking lot, confronted the gentleman, or loosely said, who had the phone, and they shot and killed him. So since obviously he died. And the issue now is how many people are doing this and taking justice into their own hands to try to trace down their phones as a result of these apps. 3 million iPhones were stolen in the United States last year, and many people have actually tried to hunt down their phones to get them back. Many of them with good results. Many of times people, there was a New York Times article on this talking about people who had confronted the people and happily got their phones back with no problem. But others have gotten in fights with the people who had their phones, fist fights. Others have actually had problems where it was the wrong person. And so the gentleman with the missing phone now ends up in jail for battery against someone who never took the phone. And the idea, the solution that has been proposed is to have a kill switch so that your phone turns off. But the thing is, these days, people it's not so much worried about the phone working, it's that I need to have the phone at my hand at all times to do everything that I need to do. Joe, you'll like this. One person had somebody who had stolen the phone, was using it for online dating and pretending to be him and going on there.
They were using the Tinder on a stolen phone?
Yes, it was actually OkCupid, but the same type of deal.
Wow.
And so he wanted to track him down. The kill switch wasn't going to work. I mean, it would, but he was already logged into his account. So it is a major issue. You have police saying, do not do it. Call us if the phone's been stolen.
Right.
But the reality is, police, it is not a top priority, and they're busy. And if it was stolen, violently, then of course they're going to pursue it.
Sure.
But if it was stolen because they picked it up off a table, it's on the bottom of the list of priorities. So it is definitely a problem. But this poor kid, Jeremy Cook, is an example of what can happen if you do this. So be very, very careful.
It's a phone, folks. It's a phone.
It's a
More
thing.
than
No, it's
common
not.
people.
Wait, I'm really attached.
Buy
I get
the
it, but
insurance.
that's an online identity issue, and it can't be tied to the phone. So if we want to talk about over-reliance on devices to carry our lives, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's a thing.
But go get
you
a
can
new
go looking for it if you must, but to confront someone, it's a thing. Your life is worth more than that thing.
To young people, or even adults, it's an extension of your hand.
Go buy another one.
No, I totally agree with you.
You can
But
walk
some
down
people,
to the Apple store
You know what I
for
mean? It's great. Then what we
$150
need
bucks
to
will
start
replace what
doing
you had.
is we need to be as sophisticated with an ethics of technology as we are about the technology itself. And if we can begin to evolve that, we'll know how to say
Is that
it's
a fancy
hugely
way
important.
of saying common sense?
No, it's more than that, because it's common sense. It's got to catch up at the rate of technology. And it'll be uncommon sense that we're going to have to cultivate for a new era.
There was a poll that came out not too long ago, or at least a survey. 67% of adults say they couldn't go 24 hours without their phone. 67%.
Yeah.
And that's why they're pursuing these people instead of just calling the
That's
damn
the
police.
best argument
But
that
it's also-
everyone should take one day a week and turn
turn
the
off
thing
your phone.
off.
But there's
one day a
practical-
Good
week,
luck.
live without it.
Good luck.
Hey, I do it every week.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
You're a
I think
rabbi.
it's
You got some
wonderful,
sort of
right?
advantage.
He has to.
Got to.
Anyway.
Yeah, if he had said otherwise, I would have reminded him
Yeah.
about Saturday.
All right, we
But
gotta
it's a choice.
move on.
Pick any day you want. Just give yourself a day
We
off.
have to move on, people. Anyway, it's my turn.
And you have your phone.
I
see?
do have my phone right near
Oh,
my
Mrs.
side. I
Stern.
sleep with it. It's true, and it's sick. Anyway, in a split decision, the High Court, this is my potluck, by the way. In a split decision, the Hot Luck ruled against the group's Sons of the Confederate Army, which asked the court to force the state of Texas to approve a specialty license plate with the Confederate flag. Writing for the majority, Justice Stephen Breyer says Texas is not violating free speech rights, saying, and we quote, "The plates are essentially government IDs, and ID issuers typically do not permit their IDs to contain, quote, messages with which they do not wish to be associated." But in the dissenting opinion, conservative Justice Samuel Alito wrote the ruling, quote, "takes a large and painful bite out of the First Amendment." By the way, get this, Justice Clarence Thomas sided with the liberal judges in this case. That's very interesting. The judges were divided on this one. Where do you stand on it?
Initially, I thought they were nuts. If you look at the history of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, the organization, they've become very actively political. It's not just about remembering the Confederacy, it's advocating for a whole range of political ideologies, and so I think there really is a material difference between this one and other ones the state has led through.
Rick.
The fact that Justice Thomas wrote this majority opinion just shows you how crazy Justice Alito is becoming. That was him calling
And that was
you
the
out.
ring of truth.
Alito.
That was the ring of truth.
The ring of truth. My wife actually went on a date with Alito's son.
Well, how'd that go?
Yeah,
Not
way
sure I
back
brag.
when. Not too well. I'm sitting.
You're here.
Anyway, lawyer, quickly, 5 seconds.
Listen, I think that the fact that it's government speech, they took care of all the license plate cases. They're all done.
All right, very good. Yay or nay is next. Happy time, Daily Wrap. Don't go anywhere.